Hello, hello, visionary entrepreneurs, life changers. How are you? Welcome back to our abundance reading. Today is our 162. Whoa, yeah, today is actually also Sunday night. Let me wait for one moment. Let's get our YouTube channel working as well. One moment. A little bit slow down tonight. I guess maybe it's because it's Sunday. How about you? Have you got a very interesting Sunday? I'm just curious to know what kind of interesting things you may have already done during the weekends, and normally what kind of fun you have with your family. Okay, so let's get back to our Zoom. Today we are continuing our reading Traffic Secrets by Russell Brunson, the underground playbook for filling your websites or funnels with your dream customers. Oh, by the way, some not very fun things for the Sunday. By the way, this weekend we went swimming, and we also went to play badminton today afternoon, and it's a great day actually. The only exception is my roof. There's some like water leaking on my living room, the house, the front side. So I need to find somebody, some good ones to really fix it, right? But in this area, not very easy to find some good, trustworthy kind of, let's say, repairing or handyman people, right? And sometimes they charge you extra money. Different people give you totally different evaluation or like recommendation. And some of them, just like, for example, the roof, some of say, oh, it's because of the window frame. Another say, we have to lift all your tiles up to fix it. So some of them charge multiple hundreds, some of them charge thousands of dollars. So this is crazy. And so that's why. And today also my son, he lost his keychains, a few keys, and also his laptop just is not working. So I have quite a few things to handle. And I was during the dinner time, I was doing some research, right? Find those resources. I was a little bit in a hurry. So I was doing the avocado, preparing for the salad, and my knife, get the knife, like the tip, get into my palm a little bit, so get some blood. Fortunately, thank God, did not wound too much. Otherwise, I heard some horrible story, right? Some people to get avocados pit out, and they could cut the whole palm. That's quite scary. But other than that, my daughter immediately played that kind of a like first aid to me, and my son started to help for the dinner. And I did at the same time did the meditation and to calm myself down. You know, sometimes when you have multiple things all demanding on you, and you could get in that kind of hurry and even a little bit stressed, right? And definitely, and that's a lesson to me, good lesson. And I learned my lesson. So inside myself, I prayed to God. I said, no, God, I know I should not be like in that kind of worry or stressful status. And then I hurt myself. So it's not helping myself, and it's not save the time. So by being hurry or being stressful, right? It's not definitely not helping the situation. It's making it worse. So that's a good lesson for me today. And then I did immediately the meditation and calmed myself down, and slow down and lowered my tone and voice, right, to communicate with my kids. And thank God we had a good dinner time. But this is a lesson, okay, learned. So everyone, be careful about your avocado. Very tricky avocado pit. Okay, so super be careful, especially for kids. Remind them as well. So I use myself as a lesson or as a warning to my kids as well. Okay, let's get back to our Traffic Secrets. This is the second one from Russell Brunson. This is actually the third book. So the one we are reading this time, the second one. Okay, the secret number 4 today we're reading about work your way in, buy your way in. So it's actually 2 ways, right? It's all about the traffic. So how you get your traffic, either work your way in or buy your way in. It was just weeks before we were going to officially launch ClickFunnels.com to the world. For the past 12 months, my co-founder, Todd Dickerson, had spent almost every waking moment painstakingly writing tens of thousands of lines of code. Russ is so lucky, right? So really, like, if we can find such kind of partner, that's wonderful. I have spent every last penny I had earned trying to keep the doors of my little company open so we could feed our families, all the while waiting for the launch of our new company that we believed would change the world. It was almost the go time. And Russell is amazing, right? So that kind of a persistence. And with 1 month left, Todd and our other co-founder, Dylan Jones, flew to Boise to grind out the last 10% of the code before we went live. Wow, I still have 1 month to go and still have 10%, okay? Fueled by Red Bulls and the fire to see their baby come to life, they would code each night until 3 or 4 a.m., go back to their hotels for a short nap, then be back to the office by 9 a.m. These were the days that I would never forget. So like, I know people with kids, right? The parents definitely become more responsible, more motivated, and we could be more successful as well. As the non-technical co-founder who had no skills in code, I wasn't able to help during these hackathons, but I knew my role. When the card opened on launch day, I needed to have a pipeline of people waiting and begging to sign up for their free trials. So while Todd and Dylan were coding, I was working on the Dream 100. Smart, right? That's the right strategy. While your partners is doing like software or application developing and product developing, you need to prepare the marketing for them. For every platform, I would research and find the people who already had my dream customers, add them to my list, and send them messages to introduce myself. My Dream 100 list grew into my Dream 200, then my Dream 500. I need to do more of that. So far, I only have dozens of them, so I definitely need more. By the time ClickFunnels was ready to go live, it had become my Dream 736. That's impressive, right? So from Dream 100 to Dream 100, Dream 736. I remember looking at that list the day before the launch, thinking that these people had already congregated my dream customers and already had relationships with them. I just had to figure out ways to get my message in front of these audiences. Looking back, just 5 years since that moment, it's amazing to see how far we've come in such a short period of time. This morning, as I'm writing this chapter, we just passed 100,648 active monthly paying customers using ClickFunnels. This is so easy to calculate how much money revenue they're making. For example, each one could be around, let's say, $200. Some of them use 97, some of them use like I use a 300 per month. And let's say averaging is 200. That's let's see, 20 million. That's amazing. 20 million. With those, like 5 years ago, he's doing this and writing this book, they've already got over $20 million of revenue annually. So the majority of these members, my dream customers, came from the following of the 736 people that I identified as my Dream 100. Now, if you skipped the exercise in secret number 2, please stop here to go back and do it. That is the place to exercise to list all your Dream 100 in different categories. Okay, so it's a key to filling your funnels with traffic. Remember, if you hired me for a 100,000 consulting day, this is the very first thing I would have you do. If you need help doing it, pretend you just wired me $100,000 and then go and do it. The reason I emphasize this so much is because I've seen that companies that make 8 and 9 figures a year complete this vital step. Like, for example, one of his most proud students is Ladybus, the health, the weight loss and the fitness company. Okay, now he's giving us steps. Step number 1, dig your well before you are thirsty. Or dig your well, okay? Dig your well before you are thirsty. Oh, actually, he mentioned about this briefly in Expert Secrets, the last book. Now you have your Dream 100 and they have your dream customers. The next question you should be asking yourself is the same question I ask myself. How do I get my message in front of their audiences? The first key to the Dream 100 is that you need to dig your well before you are thirsty. In his networking book, Dig Your Well Before You Are Thirsty, Harvey Markey explains that if you want to build a business relationship with someone that is worthwhile, you have to start it before you are ready to make the deal. Okay, build a business relationship. Start it before you're ready to make the deal. Okay, don't wait till it's your promotion time. The most common mistake that entrepreneurs make when they start their Dream 100 is to wait to start building relationships with those people until their product is ready. As soon as I identify someone as being part of my Dream 100, I immediately start digging my well. I present do this in a few ways. Okay. As soon as I identify someone as being part of my Dream 100, immediately do it. Okay. Immediately digging my well. Personally do this in a few ways. Okay. First, subscribe to something that my Dream 100 are publishing. If they are on your Dream 100, they probably publish on they probably publish on at least one, if not many, different platforms. I listen to their podcasts, read their blog, watch their stories on Instagram, and join their email newsletter. Because there will likely be a time in the near future that I'll have the chance to actually speak to them. I've met people in the past who have somehow made it through all of my gate speakers and got a precious few minutes of my time. And I figured out within seconds that they didn't know who I was and only cared about what they thought I could do for them. These conversations never turned into anything fruitful for either of us. To avoid that situation, do your homework. Do your homework. That's very basic. Do your homework so when your moment comes with your Dream 100 person, you are prepared to talk about them. That's true. And this part I'm quite impressed by Ed Manette. He has an Ed Manette show on his YouTube channel. He's always interviewing those guest speakers and invited them, and he did a lot of homework and research, and he read their book and he read their stories, and then he asked all these questions, very relevant. So you could know that, you could see that like this person, this interviewer, did this homework. Okay. I also watch what my Dream 100 are publishing watch what my Dream 100 are publishing. Because in the future, I might be creating ads for the same people if I know the things that an individual member of my Dream 100 are saying to their followers. I can model the same language patterns in my messages. Usually when I tell people to subscribe to everything, they kind of freak out because they don't want to join over 100 people's email lists, subscribe to over 100 podcasts, or follow over 100 influencers on Instagram. After all, it would take several hours a day to manage that, right? But the truth is, it actually won't. For the email newsletters, I create a new email address that is set up specifically for my Dream 100 campaign. Okay, this is good strategy. Okay, email newsletters, new email address set up specifically for my Dream 100 campaign. Use this new email address to join everyone's list. I make the filter that pushes each person's emails instantly into a folder, so my inbox stays clean. Okay, I make a filter. Okay, I also make a filter pushes each person's emails instantly into a folder, so my inbox stays clean. That way, when I'm about to call or message a certain person, I can log into that email account, click on their folder, and quickly look at the last dozen or so emails and catch up on what they are publishing. Wow. I also only use my social apps, for example, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, etc., for two purposes: to produce and publish content. There's many golden nuggets. Okay, stay with us, because even though like it sounds like a very simple statement, but it's introducing Russell's best practice. and spy on my team 100. Okay. And don't use them to be social because this is the fastest way to ruin your life. Okay. Okay, not really, but seriously, from this point forward, you should never look at yourself as a consumer of social media, but as the producer of it. Okay. You're a producer instead of a consumer. You produce content and you pay close attention to what your Dream 100 is doing on each of those platforms. Okay, produce content. Okay, see here, you produce content. And some people are teaching you, oh, don't do that much content. Oh, but content is impact. Okay, you produce content if you close attention to what your Dream 100 is doing on each of those habits. Platforms. That's it. Personally, I spend about 15 minutes twice a day. Quickly swiping through each app and to keep my finger on the possible market, and then I close my phone down and get back to producing. Close my phone down and get back to producing. Okay. The first is like a consumer, right? Let's say spend 15 minutes twice a day quickly swiping through each app to keep my finger on a possible market. Okay, so it's just like he spent about 15 minutes twice a day. That means totally Ed spent about 30 minutes on, in his industry and to understand his market, and then close my phone down and get back to producing. So you need to have that like a market awareness and research time, and then have your producing time. After subscribing to my 100 Dreams content, I try to buy some of their products. This allows me to see their funnels and what they are selling on their back end and get a good idea of what they're selling. Okay, we call this process funnel hacking. All right, so okay, I'm a little bit distracted because I did not really sleep enough time this weekend. Had quite a few events or like duties to do. We had a morning meeting. Gosh, I'm not a morning person. So like sounds like this. This is a long chapter. Maybe we will need 2 or 3 times. Okay, so let's see where we are. So slow. Okay. Let me read this part again. After subscribing to my Dream 100 content, I try to buy some of the products. This allows me to see their funnels and what they're selling on their backend and get a good idea of what they're doing. We call this process funnel hacking, where you go through their sales process to get ideas of what is working in this market as well, as being able to get on their customer list to see what types of thinking they send to their, okay, what is working in this market, as well as being able to get on the customer list and see what types of things that you send to the customers. So this is like a sales process. When you're a customer, you can tell them why you love their products. Few things will report quicker and faster than being able to tell someone that you are a happy consumer or customer. Okay, the third and the last thing I do is look for ways that I can serve my Dream 100. Okay, so let's see. Where is that? For a second, sometimes if you do not market, you may lose. Okay, the first is subscribe. Everything you Dream 100 are published. Subscribe. I need to highlight. Otherwise, after a long time, you will forget. Subscribe to everything Dream 100 is producing. The second one, use social apps for 2 purposes. Okay, email newsletter. Let me see. This is the one, the same one. Subscribe to 100 publishing. And look at the new email list that's set up specifically for a Dream 100 company. And I use that new email address to join everyone's list. Oh, okay. Where is it? 2. The second one. Let's do the second one. So he used the social apps to produce and publish content. That's where, okay, publish, to produce and publish. Okay, funnel hacking. All right, the third and last thing I do is to Let's look for ways that I can serve my dream 100. Remember, right now, I'm not asking them to do anything for me. I'm digging my well before I'm thirsty to see what I can offer them. One of the best things I can do to help someone after buying their products or listening to their podcast or reading their blog is to talk about it socially. I may make a blog, or I may make a post on my Facebook wall or on my Instagram stories, talking about an awesome podcast I heard or product I bought, telling other people that they should buy it while tagging my Dream 100 person in the post. I found that this is one of the easiest things I do to get someone's attention and provide value to them. This is one of the easiest ways to get someone's attention and provide value to them. Okay, and get this part. Sometimes you find that a long reading, if you did not sleep well, you may find a little bit distracted. So I need to overcome that kind of distraction. And also like a weakness in the body now. I know I need to go sleep earlier tonight. And let's get this paragraph figured. So make a post on Facebook or Instagram story talking about awesome podcasts I heard, tell other people that they should go buy, and we're talking a Dream 100% in the post. Okay. I found that this is one of the easiest ways. Get people's attention and provide value to them. So look for ways can serve my Dream 100. Okay, like a digging his well. So whenever he said a digging his well, that means like he's giving. He's giving, he's like a preparing. Okay. That's important too. So, and he's helping others after buying the products and listening to the past or reading their blogs to talk about it socially. So help them. It's just like you talk about it socially and you are recommend. Let's say you are recommend. You recommend, even though you are, let's say. So number one is, let me quickly go over. Number one is subscribe, right? Get familiar with them. Number two is social apps produce and publish content. Okay. Number three is, let's see. Okay, number two is funnel hacking. Number three, use what? Do easy things to get somebody's attention and provide value to them. It could be anything from sending them a gift to creating videos or images that they could use for their own market. This process may seem like a lot of work, and it is, but it's a foundation for the entire company. Not only is it foundation for getting traffic, it's also the best way to figure out your place in the market ecosystem. What value do you have that you can provide to this market that is different? For me, it's like abundance movement and launching model, and what problems are being solved by the others in your Dream 100 that you are uniquely qualified to do. Saying what your Dream 100 is promising and trying to saying what your Dream 100 is promising, okay, and trying to sell to your dream customers. What hook they are putting out? Okay, hook, offer, story. Remember that story, and also believe will become the best market research you could ever do to figure out what the gaps are in the market and in what offers you need to create. And I believe, okay. Hook, offer, hear me. Did not mention about story. What beliefs and what will become the best market research you could ever do, regarding what the gaps are in the market and what offers you need to create. Wow. As discussed, when we launched Actually, I want to do this just here. Okay, to stop here. When we launched ClickFunnels, I had built a very large Dream 100 list. My first goal was to take my well before I was thirsty, which is a key step to do before you work your way in. I started doing this through 4 years, through 4 strategic phases. Okay, 4 strategic phases. Work your way in. So now to work your way in. Let's see, where is the buy your way in? Actually, I want to see that for worker in sector 2, and sector 3. Yeah, not found. Step 3, okay. Step 3, our way in. Okay, that's it. So this chapter is a little bit long. I know tomorrow I need to quickly review the previous one and get into the next one. Okay, that's for today. My God, definitely not my best time for reading today because I did not get my enough sleep. As you can see, a little bit tired. Also after the sports, right? I need some rest. Work your way in and buy your way in. So far, this is like getting Dream 100 people, build up partnerships, and let's see how many. And those numbers 3. So the social media, like it should help you not as of social media, but as a producer of it. Okay, so it's producer, funnel hacking. Okay, not that. Subscribe. So subscribe and close attention to 202. Close attention, funnel hacking, number 3. Where's number 3? Third last thing is look for ways you can serve. Okay, this is a serve. Second one is not serve. The second one is more about what? Serve. Second one is spy on my Dream 100. Number 2 is really the grow, to follow the trend of the market, right? So the third and last thing is to look at the ways I can serve my Dream 100. Okay, bring the attention and value to them. Book, offer, beliefs, book, offer, beliefs. Okay, that's it. No more. Definitely. If the efficiency is not improved, don't waste the time. So that's for today. Definitely, sorry, definitely not my best time for reading. Best day for reading. So, but the important thing is keep the momentum, right? And then tomorrow I definitely need to double check what did I read, because sometimes I may read, but I did not get into the deeper meaning, and I need to quickly review it, because that everything is just not for reading, not just for words, but really for the practice. So thank you for your patience, and we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow is Monday, and then tomorrow morning we will have a Momentum Monday. And so see you inside of our Abundant Entrepreneurs group. Okay, welcome to follow, subscribe to our YouTube and follow us on Instagram. We will have a highlight digest there. Everyone, enjoy your Sunday peaceful week.